Apparently, we were all supposed to be surprised by this. Apparently, this was supposed to be some big, shocking revelation that nobody saw, even though literally everyone saw it coming from the minute they decided to do this bold-faced cash grab crap that Marvel was trying to do with Ms. Marvel. It didn't work then, it ain't gonna work now. Nobody still cares about it at this point. But let me get into this one because I'm not going to waste much time in regards to this big shocking reveal that we all knew was coming. This article here from Bounding Into Comics. Marvel Comics to unsurprisingly revive Kamala Khan as a mutant in upcoming Ms. Marvel The New Mutant series. Wow! What a shocker! Nobody could have seen that coming. That they were going to literally bring her back as a mutant because they decided to go down that route in the Ms. Marvel TV series, which is still one of the lowest watched MCU series ever. Wasn't good, like I said before, 2 episodes that I was out, but no, let's change that to fit this because that's supposed to be shocking to everyone. Yeah, when they supposedly killed her off in Amazing Spider-Man, we all knew this was going to happen. It didn't even last 2 good months. Let's get into this here. In a move that will only come as a surprise to those who have spent the last 20 years with their heads buried in the sand. Yeah, because, it's not even funny anymore. Marvel Comics has officially confirmed that they will be bringing the 616 version of Kamala Khan more in line with her Marvel Cinematic Universe counterpart by reviving the recently deceased heroine as a full-fledged mutant. Yeah, because now the mutants could just bring anybody back. They're on Krakoa. That means nothing to them. Understand me? You cap out today, you come back tomorrow. They could do that. Before it was limited to only mutants. Now they could bring anybody back. Doesn't matter how long you've been dead, whether you're a mutant or not, they could just bring you back. That's what they could do. Plus, they're also drug dealers, but that's a different story. Okay, so let's just get this. Right. The road to Ms. Marvel's latest marketing role for Marvel, and never forget how she began her life as the face of the publishers, failed. We can't legally use the X-Men, so here at the Inhumans campaign, first began with the conclusion to her live-action Disney Plus series. Therein, after running a follow-up test on Kamala's DNA, her friend Bruno discovered that her ability to wield the Nur energy in her bangle was not granted by the equipment, but rather her own genetics. Yes, remember because they said, Kamala, there's something different in your genes, like a mutation. He explains to his friend that the sample of the original X-Men, the animated series theme song, fades into the scene's instrumental role. Yeah, because, you see, when you literally get your superpowers delivered to you by FedEx, that means that, you're setting up to become the MCU's first mutant. That makes perfect sense. Also, don't give her a stretchy McGee power, because she always has these giant fists. No, give her some kind of weird Green Lantern-esque energy construct thingies. I don't know. However, rather than dealing with the implications of this reveal then and there, Marvel instead ended the season by having Kamala respond with indifference, asserting to Bruno, whatever it is, it's just going to be another label. Wow. How original. Then in May, the company moved to address the origin discrepancy between the 2 flagship versions of Kamala by having current and widely panned Amazing Spider-Man author Zeb Wells here, because everybody's hating his Spider-Man run now and they just keep doing it. Whatever. Use the conclusion of his excruciatingly terrible What Did Peter Parker Do? Yeah, what did Peter Parker do? Absolutely nothing. But even better than that, let's have Mary Jane hook up with some Paul guy and basically turn Peter Parker into everybody's hated son of a bitch. That makes sense, right? So use that storyline to kill her off, thus opening the door, as many expected, for her inevitable revival as a mutant. Yeah, Here's the thing, the Fantastic Four look devastated. Mary Jane's hugging up Paul. Yeah, nothing creepy about this guy. Norman Osborn was the Gold Goblin. Now you have Spider-Man and they're holding Ms. Marvel's body. Like, I mean, he barely knew her. But no, they're trying to play this off like her. That was something. And Zeb Wells actually said that, this is going to be the biggest thing to happen since in 50 years in Spider-Man, ever since they killed up Gwen Stacy. Yeah. Nobody even cared. And literally nobody cared. Everybody knew you were going to bring her back. And even if you were going to bring her back, nobody really cares about Ms. Marvel. She's not a liked character. Her books don't sell. That's why you literally had to kill her off in Spider-Man in order for people to even take a look. Because most people just hate watching, or what should I say, hate reading Spider-Man at this point to see just how worse Zeb Wells could keep making it before the whole thing just collapses. Fans' suspicions would then be confirmed in this week's Fallen Friend, The Death of Ms. Marvel one shot. They used that like some kind of, what's that? They actually took the cover from what happened with the original Captain Marvel's death. One of the few heroes in, Marvel that actually stayed dead. The actual first Captain Marvel, they actually used that cover and just swap it in with Ms. Marvel and try to act like this was supposed to have some kind of great effect on people. It looks stupid and people call them out on it. Centered around the funeral of the titular heroine, the issue ends with a special QR code that, when scanned, presents readers with her former champion's teammate Cyclops of the situation. After referring to the service as theater, the X-Men figurehead is questioned by his former champion's teammate Nova, Amadeus Cho, and Miles Morales as to why he didn't attend. Yeah, here it is. And anybody supposed to care about these three? Probably not. And then at the end, he pretty much, when they ask him why he didn't show up at the funeral, he basically says, "You'll understand, Spider-Man, not today, but soon." Right, we know what that's going to set up. And soon it was, as just a few days after the issue hit shelves, Marvel officially confirmed the speculation that Ms. Marvel's death was merely a ploy to change her origin by announcing her return in a new miniseries aptly titled Ms. Marvel, The New Mutant. And want to know who's writing this? Well, who's going to be co-writing it? The same person who's playing Ms. Marvel in the MCU. She's going to be doing it. Right? It's going to be a 4-part tale. We'll see Kamala brought back via Krakoan resurrection technology. But before she has a chance to come to terms with this revelation, the catastrophic fall of X will throw her world into chaos and a secret mission on behalf of the X-Men. Does anybody even care about the X-Men and their fall of X nonsense anymore? Probably not. Not only will Kamala be getting a new lease in life, she's also be receiving an official X uniform as designed by Young Avengers Volume 2 artist Jamie McKelvey. Yep, this is the outfit here. It looks just as lame as her other outfit. I don't know what he was supposed to think about this, but that's just it. All right. Speaking to Entertainment Weekly for the exclusive review of the book, Iman Vellani, as I said, who plays Ms. Marvel in the MCU, is going to also be writing this book. This is what she had to say. She had to say, "This was way scarier than joining the MCU for me. Those projects feel like they live in their own dimension, yep. So I guess I can separate myself easier. But you can hold a comic book. I've never written anything before in my entire life, but I have read many comics, so I just wrote what I would want to read." Okay, so you haven't written anything, you want to write something. Okay, nothing wrong with deciding to write something. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. But here, what else she has to say. "I was given a very professional tool to write what is essentially my own fan fiction." And there it is. To write my own fan fiction. This is what does end up doing these things. Because rather than writing it the way it's supposed to be, no, you would rather just write it as your own fan fiction and figure, well, that's supposed to be good enough. These characters are supposed to be what they're supposed to be. Well, Miss Marvel, no, never really supposed to be anything other than just some kind of self-insert for her creator. But still, this is what you're doing, just giving her out to write this. Further, despite these clear changes being made to Miss Marvel's character, Vellani assured fans, I want to make it very, very clear that we are not retconning her inhuman origin, except that's exactly what you're doing. She's no longer an inhuman, she's going to be a mutant. And that's a part of Kamala's identity that Marvel editorial and myself would very much like to keep and protect. Then why are you changing it? Our book will absolutely reflect all those core themes of identity that the Ms. Marvel comics have consistently explored. Maybe that's why nobody's reading them. Only now there's a whole new label that Kamala has to learn to accept. The young actress added this, it's going to be pretty crazy. Yeah. They go on about how, the other writer is talking about how she really had a lot of good inputs and all kind of thing, the normal stuff. Barring any new trends that will warrant yet another change to her identity, Ms. Marvel, a New Mutant, is currently on track to hit shelves on August 30th. Meanwhile, fans can catch Vellani's return to the role of young Inhuman Mutant when the Marvel hits theaters on November 10th. So, after all that fanfare and all that nonsense, she's coming back as a mutant, and this shocks nobody. Everybody knew you were going to do this. Everybody knew that this whole killing off was just another ploy to change her to fit the MCU. You people are unoriginal, unimpressive, and just sad. That's what Marvel has become now, just sad and pathetic. That's it. Your thoughts on this in the comments. Have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, try to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. You're notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.